Dear student, today we will start new topic. Electric field intensity at any point on the axis of uniformly charged ring. That means due to the uniformly charged ring, we have to find the electric field intensity at any point of its axis. Let we assume that a ring having the radius A are uniformly charged. The amount of charge which is uniformly distributed over it Q. After that, the distance of the point P from the center of the ring is R, on which we have to find the electric field intensity due to the uniformly charged ring. To find it, first of all we assume two small elements of the ring which is diametrically opposite to each other. The length of this small element is dl. Then the charge on this small element is also small, that is dq. Then dq is equal to q by 2 pi a into dl. This equation can be obtained by the using concept. The charge per unit length is q by 2 pi a. Then the charge on dl length is q by 2 pi a into dl. Then we write the expression of electric field intensity due to the small element dl, that is dE equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught dq by the distance, square of the distance between the small element to the point P, where we have to find the electric field intensity. So the distance between the small element and the point P can be written as, using the Pythagoras theorem, hypotenuse square is equal to base square plus perpendicular square. So our equation becomes d is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught dq by r square plus a square. The direction of the d in the outward direction, that means along the line joining the small element to the point. Similarly, due to the another small element, we can write the small electric field intensity equation, which is also similar to the first one, that is d is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught dq by r square plus a square. The direction of this is along the line joining in outward direction. Now, we resolving the D into rectangular component. Since the line joining makes the angle theta with the axial line of ring, so the line joining the small element to the point where we have to find the electric field intensity, it is also makes angle theta with the axial line of the ring. Then the two rectangular component is, one is dE sin theta, which is perpendicular to the point where we are going to find the electric field intensity. Second component d cos theta, which is along the axis of the ring. Similarly, due to the second element, the d component resolved into two rectangular component, it is also d sin theta, which is perpendicular to the point P in the downward direction, and d cos theta, which is again along the axial line of the ring. Since due to the both small element, d sin theta acts at the point P in a opposite direction, that is, one is vertically upward and another one is vertically downward. Since magnitude of both component is equal, so it is cancel out. Then the resultant or effective electric field intensity due to the small element is sum of dE cos theta, because both component d cos theta act along the axis of the ring in the same direction. Simplifying it, resultant intensity E is equal to summation dE cos theta equal to summation, putting the value of d here, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught dq by r square plus a square into cos theta. Now we find the value of cos theta, then cos theta equal to r by r square plus a square to the whole power 1 by 2. Then our equation becomes E is equal to summation 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q dl by 2 pi a into 1 by r square plus a square into r by r square plus a square to the power 1 by 2. In this equation, here we are putting the value of dq also. To omit the, or before it, one more step, simplify the above equation. Summation E is equal to summation 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q dl by 2 pi a into r by r square plus a square to the power 3 by 2. Now, to omit the summation sign, we have to integrate the above equation. Before integrating or differentiating, all of you know that all the constant terms must be out of the integration sign. Those terms variable in the equation, only it can be integrated. So here dl is variable term. dl is a small element of ring. The length of the ring vary from 0 to 2 pi a. Therefore, our equation E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q by 2 pi a into R by R square plus a square to the power 3 by 2 into integration over whole ring dl. Then integration over whole ring dl is equal to the circumference of the ring, which is 2 pi a. So in place of this term, we are putting 2 pi a in the above equation. We got E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by 2 pi a into R by R square plus a square to the power 3 by 2 into 2 pi a. 2 pi a and 2 pi a cancel out. Therefore, our final equation, resultant intensity E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into QR by R square plus a square to the power 3 by 2. It is the result expression for the resultant intensity due to the uniformly charged ring on its axial line at a point P, which lie at a distance r from the center of the ring. Now, some special condition. If we assume that the point P lies on the center of the ring, then what happens to the electric field intensity due to this uniformly charged ring? Since you see the final equation, if point P, which lie at a distance r from the center, if this point P comes on the center of the ring, then the value of r becomes 0. Therefore, putting the value of r in our final equation, we got E is equal to 0. That is, due to uniformly charged ring, the electric field intensity at the center of the ring will be 0. Second condition we took, if R is much greater than A, that means the point which lie on the axial line of the ring, its distance from the center is much greater than the radius of the ring. Many times I tell all of you that when we are assuming any physical quantity smaller than the another one, then its higher power term can be neglected. So here the higher power of A is A square. So we neglected it. Then we got E is equal to QR by 4 pi epsilon naught RQ equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square. Here 1 R is cancel out. So our equation becomes E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square. It's all for today. All of you listen the lecture carefully, and also I am uploading the notes. You can see it and try to write the derivation by itself. Thank you.